Hey guys, welcome back. This is part 3 of our realistic eye tutorial where we take this and we are heading to this. Anyway, if you're new to our channel, we're all about helping you create better and more explosive artworks, taking you to the next level. So if you're new here, you can start by hitting that subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell so you can get notified of everything that's coming up. Anyway, not going to keep you guys waiting. We're going to get right to it. Okay guys, we're going to take that green mix we were using from part 2. We're going to add a little bit of black to it. And we're going to finish up the details in the iris. And this is where your investment of time in watching this is going to start paying off dividends in your artwork. Alright guys, so I took my transfer paper or tracing paper and I made myself a little stencil so that I could get the registration on the pupil so that I didn't lose my location. Darkened in that pupil very dark, and then I'm going to use a gradient on that edge. We talked about this in part 2, how the center of the pupil is very, very dark, almost like a hole, and then it grades out and then back around. So we did that, and now I'm going to take a little bit of blackbeard wheat, which will just help create a little bit of an organic edge to the gradient. And you don't necessarily have to do that, but it does create a little bit extra realism. By all means, if you have a reference, follow your reference and see exactly how those textures are laying out. And then I'm going to take that same mix and I'm going to darken up some edges. I'm going to randomly create some spots within the striations, gradients and shading. Notice how small amounts of paint I'm putting on there. Notice that I worked right next to that highlight. Now I'm going to take my texture stencil and continue to work on that, just creating some more of that illusion of that leafy tree textures that I was talking about. I'm darkening my shadow greatly, and I'm going to touch up on those shadows that come off, the shadows that came off of the eyelashes that we talked about also in part 2. Y'all did realize that this is the painting, right? And now we're going to do our final cleanup on the iris, touching in on our highlights, bringing our very brightest highlights back forward. I'm going to initiate some highlights and illusion of light coming beneath those eyelashes, as well as throughout other parts of the picture. I'm also increasing some of the work on the striations, but notice I'm not erasing all the way back to white on those striations. The unique properties of Create Text Illustration, and actually you can do this with other paints as well. The paints that have been on there longer are going to be stronger, so you can, with gentle erasing, you can erase just that last layer of paint. Going through and touching up those little white spots will create a glassy look around the white of the eye. Adding in and then doing any cleanup that we need to inside that as well while we're working. Alright guys, now we're going to take some burnt umber and we might mix just a little hint of blue violet in there just to dirty that mix up a little bit. Took that mix, I'm going, as you can see, I made myself a little shield, and I'm going to make that crease really stand out here now. And then I'm going to start blending out the eyelid, and I'm going to blend out from that crease up into the shadow that would be underneath the eyebrow. You're going to see in a couple minutes, I'm also going to use this mix. I'm going to darken it up again a little bit more and add more of the violet mix with it, the blue violet. And that's almost too dirty for some of the work that I'm doing, so you just want to be really careful with that. Notice how slow I'm painting. This is at 2 times speed, not crazy at this. And this part right here where I'm working on the bottom, I want you to understand this is very critical, that you do not run all the way up to the eyeball on the bottom, that you leave that space between the eyeball and the lid. That creates the illusion that the lid is standing out from the eyeball. If you take in shadow from the bottom all the way in, that is going to kill that illusion. I'm going to quickly take that dark mix and hint at my eyebrows. That would be up in the very corner of the picture. That's all that's going to be showing right now. So you'll see me just kind of freehand in some, dagger strokes there. And that's going to give me, and I'll blend it, shade it just a little bit, and that will give me my eyebrow. That's all we need is a hint. I'm going to darken up on top of my eyelid a lot. And it might seem like too much when I get done with that part, but the reality is that there's makeup and stuff off of the eyelashes that is getting up on the top of the eyelid. Also, as we talked about before, the eyelashes directly over the center of the eye are not able to be seen. So it just kind of becomes this slight textured mess on the top of that. And on the top, and you'll see, notice how I put some dots in there. That's clumping from the makeup is what that is. That's actually going to simulate clumping of the makeup. So while I came down on my top lid very close in that middle spot, that's not as critical as on the top spot. Notice I'm using some fine lines here, and that's going to create those creases that are in the eyelid. And like I said, coming down on the top eyelid is not as critical as staying off it on the bottom. And the reason being is because once the eyelashes are put in there and everything is put in, a lot of that is going to get covered up. And so you'll notice I stay off it a little bit. Also, depending on your point of view, reference of view, on whether you would see the rolled edge of the eyelid or not. So it doesn't always show up. If you were looking from above, you would see a crisp edge there at the top of the eyelid, and you would see the roll on the bottom eyelid. But if you were looking from below, it would be the opposite. In this particular case, our point of view is slightly above that eye. All right, guys, thanks a lot for stopping by. That's going to be it for today of part 3. I will have part 4 edited and put together tomorrow, I hope, maybe the next day. Anyway, we've come quite a way since part 1. Anyway, I hope y'all got something out of it. If you like what you're seeing, remember to hit the subscribe button, notification. Give me a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. And help me get the word out. Share this if you would. I don't ask you guys a whole lot, but I am fully intent on building this channel and getting the information out so that we can all grow together. Anyway, we appreciate y'all stopping by. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Bye.